It's almost Christmas, which means it isn't. Shut up. It's almost almost miss. All Christmas miss. I can't believe that it's already Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is the day where tomorrow is the day where I get to eat at a buffet, and that's what's important to me. Where's my dang... Okay, I guess this went... No, oh my... I can do that? Hey, my hat is stretching out. Boo. 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 That's a new feature that I've just discovered. Forehead. 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 This is a forehead stream now. Nothing else matters. Okay, well, let's get right back into it, into my thing. We've already had the line, so don't get too excited, though. Of course the stream crashed. Well, it'll reconnect, and I'm recording locally, so it don't matter. Edward talking about time he killed some guy or something. Hey, it's the catalyst for the line. It was great. I don't even remember this guy showing up. It has been... We're showing up here. I remember that he was the catalyst for the line. Hee hee. Dang. Poor Maya. And here's Phoenix's tragic backstory. Before that other time that he got accused of murder by a lady or whatever. $38? Did you rob the bank that other day? Yes, Phoenix's tragic backstory. Thing what happened in 4th grade. You know, I kind of say that in a mocking tone, but I've probably got a tragic backstory from 4th grade. But I'm not going to reveal it. You know nothing. Then a few months later, Miles got a much better tragic backstory. Okay, time to do... what next? Should we see if Edgeworth is there? You find the answer to that, you can play Investigations 2, recently given official English. I don't have the official English version. I still remember the old names. I don't know how I will adjust to Eustace Winner. I'm not saying Sebastian the Best is like the most clever name in the world, but you could do better. Is there anything else I can show you? Do you know anything about Misty? No. How about this bullet? How about this metal detector? Okay. I tried 3 things, that's enough. How do you do that? How do you snap a tie? It's not solid enough to do a snap. That's probably just to tell us that that area is no longer relevant. Man, Twitch is just not wanting to keep a connection tonight. What does happen to Polly after this trial? Great, now the bird's going to hate me. You know, I guess I'm just realizing that I don't remember much of the investigation sections. There's some fruit. No, that's just the same. For a second I thought, did he like put something in the trash? That seems like a thing. Hang on. One last thing. Is this... No, that's not... Look edible. Okay, I'm out of ideas already. Larry's still here. We just kind of left him in our office. Grossberg said we could come back if we found something. Although I guess we haven't really found anything. You like this? How about Miles? I tried 3 things on this guy. What else is there? Probably not a good idea. Okay, how about the case file? That's not a photo of your dad. Like my badge? No. I can't help you with your badge. Anything cool or good? I'm out of ideas. I should get Twitch chat to help me. All of my 0 viewers. What would happen, do you think, if someone set up like a Twitch plays Ace Attorney? Like in the way of Twitch plays Pokemon. Like, do you think it could get past The first cross-examination. Probably not. But, like, I'm just wandering around right now. I feel like I've examined everything in here. Is this just going to be Maya screaming at the... Oh! Okay, now we found something out. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. Okay, now, does that change something now that we found that one piece of evidence? Oh, what's left? Still no Grossberg. Hey, it's Maya's theme again. You're like that bird. Maybe we could show this to Miles. That smells like progress to me. Tell me about Yagi Yogi. Yanni Yogi. Yay Yogi. Yanni Yogurt. The same dream every night for 15 years? I mean, I guess this is some pretty intense trauma. But like, usually my recurring dreams are just like, I don't know, my teeth fall out sometimes, which is usually like a sign that you're insecure with your appearance, but in my case that might just be my subconscious telling me that my dental hygiene is garbage. I also have what I call Sisyphean pee dreams. If I happen to need to pee while I am asleep, then I dream about struggling to find a bathroom. Once I couldn't get to the bathroom in my own house in a dream because German 985 dressed as a clown was in there. Dreams are funny. Unless you're Edgeworth. Here I am talking about piss while Miles Edgeworth is like, oh, I may have killed my own father. Well, I gotta go piss, Edgeworth. I was very worried that they were going to give a flashback to the thing that we just did. Does that open up a new top? Yes, it do. Man, Manfred von Karma is a total dick. Fucking all this, killing the man and like doing all this to his son over a penalty. Doesn't Manfred live in Europe? I guess it doesn't matter. The countries in these games are a little bit nebulous. Made in Japan, take place in Japan if you're in Japan. Then they lazily say, oh, it's America, with the translation. Accidental murder isn't murder, it's manslaughter. Even though manslaughter is like a way scarier sounding term. That is correct, isn't it? I'm not sounding like an idiot right now. Anyway, in my half paying attention, I think we go not to the detention center, but the police criminal affairs. There he is, front-facing Manfred von Karma. Can't hurt you. Well, this is an awkward situation, huh? Hey, hey, Manfred. You wouldn't happen to have the TL6 file, would you? Is there anything else that we can present? Creep. Well, we have a gun. Let's kill him. No, that don't work. This would be really funny if it did something. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're going to know, like, soon. I think the game is, like, railroading me into doing something stupid here. Front-facing Manfred von Karma is real and can hurt you. $600,000? Really putting Maya through the ringer in this trial. She's feeling self-doubt. She got freaking held in contempt of court. She got electrocuted. Alright. Enough dead air, it's out loud reading time. This is it. Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. Or... I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. What do you mean? He's trying to get the man killed. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name. But that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma. Your opening statement? Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness back into the courtroom. Manfred's being unusually cooperative. I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in a boat rental shop on the lake where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. Okay, what voice did I give this guy again? It was like something like this. No, not quite. You were very goofy sounding. I'm really sorry about leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figure I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I'd need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Ugh, yuck. Let's begin the cross-examination. He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Man, that name sounds incredibly silly said out loud. I'd call what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do. Von Karma and Yanni Yogi. Then why did you leave? That's literally his next statement. Food? Food? Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Oh, well, I kinda got lost, you see? The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see, so he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. I figured I got nothing to do with the senses anyhow. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yup, seems like it. Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue. How can you say you've had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over again until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past, or lack thereof, into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order! Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Oh, now this is interesting. I would like to know myself, so who is he? Don't like dumb Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. Well, I feel like the game was pretty clear about that, right? Yogi? Yogurt? That name seems familiar. Oh. Yanni... I lost the voice. I lost the judge voice. I thought the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I'm just saying tisk instead of sucking my teeth this time. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How could you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on the file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Eh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. Yuck. What? Yogi, you sneak? You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, the witness has no fingerprints. I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No. Tisk. Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No. I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we gonna do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine the parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine the parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On his proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce! I object! Wait a second! You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name? Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Hello. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Well, I guess we should try and get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Remember, 2 days ago... Polly, have we forgotten something? Don't forget DL6. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something. Something we forgot. Hello. Hello. What? Uh-oh. It's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot. Could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if she'd forgotten anything? It's because of my bird-like voice, Mr. Wright. What is... You're here to speak. You must speak to me. Frankly, I can't believe you're speaking to the parrot. Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. Maybe I should get her to say her name? Polly, Polly, what's your name? Polly, Polly. What? Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? It does, but how do I prove that? Yep, Polly Jenkins. Yes, it does. Fascinating. You claim the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity, then show us this proof. Nick, don't you take the buff big dude through spoops? Listen. We're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Bali to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... the DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on, then? It's 3 pages, dude. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. See? Indeed it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honor. He remembered the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she called Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Alone it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where are we gonna find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we could just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Witness, you can't, I want you, right, Maybe I'll get her to say the number to that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number of the safe in the shack? 1228. 1228. Hi, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can a number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? It's the case file again. Yes. The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in the file is this something relating to the case safe number thingy? It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. But this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. It is a mere coincidence. That's all. True, that is a possibility. However, 2 coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order! Yanni Yogi. So, was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter, and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then, the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So, I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Wasn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. That is all. Court is adjourned. Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I object to your judgment. Fuck, I forgot how I voiced him. He's like the posh boy. He's posh boy. I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. Well, you're like saying that out loud. You probably shouldn't. The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday, too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations on which ends today. The culprit is me. Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial. Right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. I'm sorry, right. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, pal. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy, just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? You just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Then I would like to resume our trial.
Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. Because, as we all know, I love cheating.
I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand?
Will the witness state his name and profession?
Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about this matter to the court.
When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream. You were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events.
But the same claim Mr. Yogi has made.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Connell is the prosecuting attorney. You can get your answer to that if you play the Edgeworth Investigations collection on any platform. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator? Yes, myself, my father, and Mr. Yogi. You were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help.
What did you do then?
I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then... What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster.
And you picked it up. What happened next?
Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick I panicked.
So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi?
I was in a daze. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot, that horrible scream. A scream. To this day? Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of the testimony clearly contradicts the evidence, but I don't know what it means. I better find out. Quick. Okay, so nothing from pressing. This is from the Yogi incident, so it's not helpful. There it is. The murder weapon fired twice. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. But that doesn't make sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony.
You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence. Unless you can tell us which page it's on. Out of 3, which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony?
Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot?
Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident.
What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. Oh, fuck. Your case is quite boring, Mr. Wright. One of these shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired has something to do with this case? I think I do. Yeah. Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible.
No, Mr. Von Karma. Save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Look at this photograph! This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth.
This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Little bitch.
Your Honor, please get a clue. Get in there. Get in the right spot. There we go.
As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice.
Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the last shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary? That's on page 1.
Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene.
He does have a point.
That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That's the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door.
Order, I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite I'm getting fucking fatigued. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not still found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. Can I take a nap on stream?
I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
How did this happen?
I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist.
Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick? Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth.
Precisely.
I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no. He's confessing. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here.
Right now.
Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. I mean, it's always object, right? I'd never just
let it go. I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, Oof. Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh, no. Ah. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist? But where? It seems waiting is not going to produce any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it exists. What? But we just heard proof that it does not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. Really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer? The murderer. Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. I should have gotten water first. My poor throat. So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he? Huh? First of all, how would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there a pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? Why would the murderer have spent time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Think why the bullet was taken. Why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and he left with the second bullet still inside, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Mr. Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murder came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Oops. He says oops and fires a gun. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He was right, I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Ah, fuck. I have to think of a voice for this jackass. Gregory Edgeworth doesn't Wow. Hopefully I never have to do that again. What am I saying? I'm gonna play this stupid case every year. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well? You have indicated the possibility that the murder came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? What? Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? Sitting right there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Dick. Let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Disc. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... well, this isn't really evidence, but... it's certainly a thing. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then, I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this over you and see what we find. I ripped refuse.
You refuse?
But refusing this means...
You acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you?
Order, order, order! Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now.
Enough.
I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean?
I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma?
You... It was you?
I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6.
But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that?
Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright, not I.
Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6?
Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. It's because you took it out of the record room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close. 1 day away from freedom. You see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought that you would have done your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. That's... a bullet?
Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up on the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullet... I feel like I've forgotten his voice again. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which bullet fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart, and the bullet that fired the bullet in Mr. Von Karma's shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun, the very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know.
Help! I can't breathe!
Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier.
Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air!
Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream and fart I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth, only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record! And you have the scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I have covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out of the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button and nothing happened. Then there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come to stupid judge making sentences that don't make sense to my tired brain. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. That is all. Court is adjourned. Man, that breakdown was hell on my throat.
Oh, I need some dang drinky drink. We're in the ending now. I need to save my throat. I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't even know how I managed to pull off that breakdown. And Lava's here.
You like this bullet? And we cheered up Maya. That's the real victory. What a case. Here's hoping that I can, like, actually commit to playing this every year and not getting tired of it. It's kind of like, you know, in the back of my head there has been like comparisons to Death Blart. That is, Till Death Do Us Blart, the podcast where they watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 every American Thanksgiving. But like, the more I think about it, that's kind of just like the only difference between that and like a tradition is that Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 sucks and they don't really want well, half the time they don't want to watch it. It seems like it like alternates between this year this movie felt like coming home, and then the next year, oh, that sucks, we should end this podcast. And hey, look at all of these characters that we didn't meet since I'm only doing the last case. But yeah, it's a funny thing that here's hoping that this doesn't kill me like Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 sometimes kills the McElroy brothers and those other two guys I don't know very much. Worst idea of all time. I think they have a podcast by that name. Oh no, I'm primarily there for Monster Factory. They've been making new ones. So, despite the low viewership counts, as I expected, I still feel like this is a success-ish. I would like to stream more often now. There was definitely a time where I don't think I could have, on account of my horrible throat being the worst thing ever. My traitorous body. Not that my throat is very comfortable right now, all that talking made it sore. Whatever. I'm learning how to stream. Whoops. Uh, though I would very much like for Twitch to not give me a disconnect signal like every so often. That's something that I wish I could avoid. I don't know what the problem is. I've kind of just worked around it by recording the stream. I don't know if it's my internet connection, but it could be my internet connection. Oh, it's doing it again right now. Surely shutting my bedroom door isn't enough to make the Wi-Fi worse, right? Maybe I should look into Ethernet cable or something. Well, that was a good extravaganza. I'm not doing Rise from the Ashes. I'm not strong enough to do Rise from the Ashes. That case is long as hell. If you thought this Turnabout Goodbyes, which was like, how long was it? I think all of these streams were 2 hours, so like 6 hours. Ooh. Rise from the Ashes, that is a hell of a case. Look at all of these exciting cases we didn't do. I could play them in reverse order. Gradually get easier. But I won't. I could, but I won't. That sounds dumb. I'm going back to my corner. Who's comfy there? Well, I hope that whoever stumbled onto this enjoyed it. Hopefully maybe enough to watch more of my things. I'm doing a fan game project, a Little Witch Academia fan game. I'm sure that's probably not a huge surprise considering my stupid branding. Maybe I could stream some development of that. That could be interesting. It might make me look dumb, but I don't know. There's definitely people who like make content out of video game creation. That would be neat. And I could do more other things. Because while I called those test streams, I still have yet to ever beat Minecraft. And someday, what if, I don't know, what if I need the skills from beating the Ender Dragon in my real life or something? Yeah. It'll be me who... When the Ender Dragon becomes real, it'll be me who fights it off, and not anybody who's, like, better at Minecraft or anything like that. Okay, I think that's enough out of me. I need a damn drink.